What is going on, everybody? It is me, your boy, Flash Jones, back again with yet another video. And in this one, as you guys can see, we got some BulkHead flat cars to talk about. So, that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on in to this video. Alright, so as I said, we got these BulkHead flats to talk about. And before we get into that, appreciate everyone looking in onto the channel, all the new subscribers subscribing, and everyone commenting on the videos and continuing to just watch and enjoy the videos that I have put out over the past months and years. I tell you, I appreciate it. I love to hear you guys' feedback on any and everything. I still, every now and again, when people put out new videos and when manufacturers put out new videos, I definitely always try to get over there and check out what they're putting out. And when you guys put out something, I try to check it out when I can. But I'm alive. I'm still breathing. Now, I've just had some things going on in life, because why? Life happens. But I'm a firm believer in God. I know that all things are working together for my good. That being said, we got to talk about these BulkHead flat cars from ScaleTrains. Apologize if I'm not talking super loud or being my energetic self. I'm in a hotel and it's nighttime, so I'm trying to contain my excitement for being back, putting out more content. I'm trying to contain it and compress it into a much more minimalized flash. So before we get too crazy, we're going to go ahead and just take a quick look at this here flat car. First things first is, as you guys can see in the background here, I got ScaleTrains' website pulled up. Going price on this guy is $42 essentially. $42. If you're gonna do just one of them, you're gonna pay for the shipping. If you get over $100 worth of products, you get free shipping. So I got 3, so that I would at least get the free shipping. Plus, helps expand the fleet of rolling stock. Second thing is, they're pretty much almost sold out. I think they have a couple more of these TTX ones going, but just take a quick look at the box here. Okay, so you have nice open canvas here on the front of the box, looking down and in to the packaging and seeing, of course, is BulkHead flat car. Looking at the sides of the box, this is actually all of the car information that you're gonna need. Let you pause that and read it for yourself. Okay, there's a top, there's a back. As I've showed you guys many times, you guys can always pause these things and read it for yourself. There you go. Pause and read if need. Other side, bottom side, just massive ScaleTrains on the bottom. No kids allowed. No, get your kids involved. It's fun. But there you go. River counter. Let's go ahead and unbox this guy. Set him in the back there. Ooh. First things first, you do get some car information from ScaleTrains. Okay, so you get a little information on the car from ScaleTrains. Okay, pause and read if need. Okay, on the inside here, you got your exploded parts diagram. Get it right side up for you. So anything and everything that you're going to need here, there you go. Okay. All replacement parts, everything that you're going to need, specific names, types, parts, numbers, everything's there. Backside, more information. There's a parts list, additional parts, and warranty information. Boom, got that. Now, next thing is the wood decking for the deck on the BulkHead flat car. This is what's included in there. Okay, so you got that. Then, of course, and on a side note, I was expecting to see some roller bearing caps. Because ScaleTrains, and they normally stick a couple in there, but for this model, they didn't do that for whatever reason. I don't know, but nevertheless, they did not. So we're gonna pop this guy out, take a look at it. Make me nervous about picking this guy up. It's so much detail on this, guys. You're gonna want to be careful getting this car out. So, just taking a quick look at this guy. You got some plastic uh, truck protectors, truck immobilizers. I'm gonna rearrange the camera and get you a better look. Alright guys, so looking at the very A end of this car, from essentially the far end back, you have both coupler here, which I believe might be metal. I can't. It might be plastic. I'll look into that. Let you know later. Sorry about that. But you got coupler here, train line air hose. You have your what's it called? Your oh, I can't think of the name, but your metal crosswalk. You got a coupling lever on the far left side there. You have grab irons running up the top. You have cross beam going along the side, running the width of the car. More grab irons. More grab irons here. Stirrup on the bottom. And then, of course, right here at the top, got your road number or your road initial and car number. Okay. Looking at the side of the car, not a whole lot to see from the kind of top looking down, so to say, but more at an angle. But you can see your trucks down in there. You might be able to see those bearing caps rotating a little bit. Maybe get a little closer. So the bearing caps do move. Of course, you got a naked deck, right? That's what these I dropped it. That's what these guys come into play on that wood decking. But you got a naked deck. Okay, running the length of the car. You got some car information here, talking about the load limit, load weights, and all that jazz. You got, of course, TTPX again with the car number. Some more car information there. And some more information running the sides of the car as well. More information there. All right, so at the B end of the car now, and of course we call this the B end because that's the end that the brake or the handbrake is on, and typically the B end is where most of the air brake equipment is located as well. But in any event, you have your coupler again, you have your train line air hose, you have your handbrake located right here, of course, and I can't think of the name, but etched metal crosswalk. Okay, you have another uncoupling lever here on the side, more grab irons running up the top. We actually have another grab right here at the tippity top of it. I don't know if you can see that up here. Okay, road name, car number, more grabs here, more grabs, stirrup here at the bottom. And then I want to show you guys just the opposite side here. So, of course, you have these horizontal grab irons here. And you got one vertical one here at the top. This is a nice touch. Okay, and here's that uncoupling lever. Let me move it up a little bit so you can see. There's that uncoupling lever again for you right there. So you see that it is fragile, so you're gonna want to definitely be careful. You don't want to break it. Okay, now this is the top of the car now. It's not a whole lot to see. Okay, like I said, naked bed, but that's where the decking is going to come into play. We're going to look at that later. So looking at the bottom of the car. So on this side of the car, I'm going to have to get kind of close up on it. Right here is what we're going to call the control valve. On the control valve essentially is the brains of a car. Every single railroad car has a control valve. Some railroad cars have multiple control valves. For example, the articulated well cars, that's essentially one car number, but it's multiple pieces. Articulated means it shares a truck, but it's the same car number. That entire car, per se, has actually 3 control valves on it. This, since this is a single car by itself, only has 1 control valve. So this control valve tells it directs air from the brake pipe train line air hose. It directs that air into the brake cylinder at, depending on whatever the pressure is that's needed as set by the engineer of the train. Right here is the retaining valve. The retaining valve holds either it has 4 positions on it, 3 positions. It has either exhaust, slow direct, high pressure. I think there's another one, but I can't remember. But essentially, This is the normal position of it. It's supposed to be down. That's an exhaust. If you turn it a little bit, puts it in high pressure, and it essentially holds air in the car, which can be useful, can also be detrimental. But essentially, those are either the air braking brains for the car right there. Okay, let's look at the other side. So on this side, if you can see under there, so right under here, you have all of the brake rigging. So on the real car, all of these brake riggings would be connected to the wheels, and then would be also then connected to the what do you call it? The brake shoes. Brake shoes would then press against the wheel to slow the car down. Of course, since it's a model, it's not all connecting and touching, but you get the picture. There's another look at those bearing caps right there moving as I turn the wheel. But in any event, you have your brake rigging, you have your air tank, which is your emergency reservoir, and your auxiliary reservoir. Okay, and all of that air gets pushed into your control valve. Your control valve directs air from one of these two cylinders into your brake cylinder and slows the car down. Okay. So then looking at the far end, you got your train line, and from the train line, that air goes from the train line to your control valve, and from your control valve, which is this, into your air reservoirs. From there, and I didn't even see it till now, you have your brake cylinder right here. Your brake cylinder, and then from there to your brake rigging, and from there to the wheels of the car. But like I said, it's a model, so you're not going to necessarily see the rigging connecting. But there's so much underbody pipe detail that's kind of lost because of the molding and the coloring. But it's nicely done. So you see all this detail all under here. Of course, the bearing caps that move, the brake rigging, air hoses and train hoses that follow along the underside of the car, your brake cylinder, your air reservoirs and piping, your control valve and therefore piping, your retaining valve and the piping, and then all of the piping that runs the length of this car all the way back to the other end. It is beautiful. ScaleTrains did a magnificent job on the detail of this car. Okay, guys, so as I was saying, the amount of detail that ScaleTrains has put into these BulkHead flat cars is pretty darn good for a flat car. And what do I mean by that, for a flat car? What do you see from right here all the way to right here? Not minus the other TTPX rather, flat car in the background. I mean, what do you see in this area? Nothing, right? And I'm not talking about the lack of a deck. I'm not talking about that either. I mean, literally, there's a, massive gap of nothingness in the center of these cars. And, there's nothing there. Since there's nothing there, there's nothing to detail per se. So the main areas that they had to detail were both the ends, being this be the A end and of course the B end over on the other side. The decking and gradients, let's say, the difference in textures in the decking. Okay, looking at some of the other flat cars here, you see some of the texture down in here. And keep in mind, guys, this wood and glue is still wet. It's curing, it's drying. I literally just finished this decking, and the video on how to assemble all this will come out before this video, which is the review. The level of detail and gradients and difference in textures that you see in the wood itself, okay, and then in the molding for the flat car. There's not a whole lot to put there. So for what is there is nice. I wish that, let me back out. I wish that on these ends that this was wood as well, because as you guys can kind of see here, it's kind of odd to have this wood, and I guess this will be metal on the real thing, but essentially you have the molded plastic and then the wood deck, and then you have this, whatever this is supposed to be. I'm guessing this is plastic on the end. I would have rather liked to see for this price point, which was $42. I would have liked to see this be wood or some other kind of realistic looking material. Looks like that was just what they decided to come up with in order to make the modeling a little easier. I don't know. I don't know what their thought is behind it or why they did it. But all I can go on and judge them on is what they have that I haven't. So guys, I wanted to flip over the TTPX oxidized red bulkhead flat car and get you guys a look at it. Why? Because we took a look at the yellow ones, at least this one, but they're essentially the same. Only the difference is the road numbers are different. You know, that's the 812-272. This is the 809. I'm sorry, 81272, and then 80931. That's mainly the main difference. If there's other differences, I apologize for I did not see them. But looking at the TTPX 80084 in the upside down, we're going to look at some of the detail on this guy and get you guys a kind of up close and personal look at it. Starting from the A end of this car, and we'll look at it upright in here in a second. But you have your train line air hose here, and you can see as this train line follows around, assume that train line reconnects right there. And then I'm going to rearrange, but essentially goes past the trucks on by and continues more piping down all into here. Now I'm not exactly sure what the piping is, but it's more detail, more piping. So of course you do have the rotating bearing caps that you can see here. They are rotating, so that's always nice. You have some piping detail that's running along the bottom of the car over here to the control valve, and then right here in front of it you have the retaining valve, and I know it's upside down, but that's the best way to get you a good look at this. You have the main, I'm going to call this the main bolster of the car. This is essentially the main support system for this entire car. It runs the entire length of the entire car, but you know, straddling this bolster and support, you have both your control valve, your retaining valve, your brake cylinder, piston detail, brake rigging detail. Following this a little further on, this is the brake pipe of the car that continues to go towards the other end of the car, and then you can see more of the piping detail here. And this is the oh shoot, what's it called? I want to say this is the air filter for the car. May be wrong on that, but essentially you have more detail, for lack of description there, but you have more piping and brake rigging detail. From the brake rigging you get, you know, brake shoes that would touch the wheel, but since it's a model, it's kind of hard to model that. Anywho, there's so much detail on the underbody side of this car that really you're never going to be able to get to see when this thing is rolling down your layout. And then on the opposite end you have another uncoupling lever following around into your train line brake pipe with the silver tip end cable coupler on the end. But there's just so much detail on this thing, guys, that it really is a beautiful thing to see. And then of course, looking at the A end of this car, you have your edge metal crosswalk, your coupler, and your train line air hose here at the bottom, your uncoupling lever. You have horizontal grab irons to climb up the top of the car. You have a grab iron here at the tip of the top. You have your crossbar going along the side, and you have more horizontal grabs. Looking at the side of the A end, you have a stirrup here at the bottom, some grab irons so you can climb up, and then a vertical handhold grab iron there on the side as well. Okay, and then of course here you got your road name. Not sure if you guys are able to see this on the other car, but you have some car information down there and some information that is readily, you know, visible. I can't zoom in on it, but some information that is nicely visible that I can almost read with my own eyes without looking in the camera. Now that word there in the middle, I can't really make that out. You might be able to see it now with the camera focusing in on it. But you have more information there, and then of course trailer train, and then here you have some capacity limits, some load limits, load weights, some other information, and you have something there, when empty something, I don't know what that says. I can't read that. Too small for my eyes. Road name, road number, and then here we are at the very end. Now, real quick, that 2-inch HF comp shoes refers to the brake shoes that is allowed to be used on this car. So essentially, the brake shoes have to be at least 2 inches thick when new. That I don't know what that says, but some more extremely fine and barely legible writing here on this car. But essentially, guys, I just wanted to get you guys a really close-up look on this car. The both of these cars, essentially, in this review. I wanted to definitely showcase what ScaleTrains has put out and how this decking went down. I'll give you a brief overview. If you didn't catch one of the my how-to on how to assemble it, it's quite tedious. You're gonna get glue on your fingers. It's going to take a long time. I don't say a long time, but it's gonna take a good chunk of your time. It took me about an hour and a half or so to do this car, the TTX oxidized red, and then about, I want to say 30 to 35, maybe 40 minutes on the trailer train yellow. In any event, I had definitely had fun doing them. I really miss modeling and working on cars and just reviewing and putting out content for you guys. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed these videos that I'm putting out. I do have a little chat with Flash video that I'll put out here in a little while after these two have had some time on the channel, and then I'll put that out and we'll have a little chat. I got some pictures and some videos that I've taken that I'll put on there that may or may not have made on Instagram. On a side note, I am changing my Instagram name to Flash Jones Trains. I just wanted to change it up to reflect my new email address for the channel. So in case you guys need to get a hold of me, that'll be the new channel name, and flashjonestrains@gmail.com is the new email in case you need to get a hold of me by email. And with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys, if you desire, go out and purchase yourselves some of these cars, because I believe these will be a nice, really nice addition to almost any layout, whether it be modern or an earlier style layout. In any event, whenever I get my layout going, I'm gonna have fun with these cars because I already have ideas for loads that I want to put on there. But anywho, guys, I don't want to drag on. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this information useful. I hope you able to use the information in this video to aid you in the purchase of whatever it is that you want to buy regarding these cars. ScaleTrains is almost out of stock on these. I think the yellow TTPX is the only ones that they have left at this point. But in any event, you guys have fun out there. Please always continue to post more videos on you guys' layouts, railfan videos, rolling stock reviews, locomotive reviews, even structure reviews. That's it. That's a thing that not many people are getting into. Hey, I'm not perfect. I don't do everything the greatest, but I try, and I like to get feedback from everyone. So don't be afraid to get out there and try something new. That being said, guys, I'm gonna end off here because I could keep talking. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out. This is your boy Flash Jones, ScaleTrains F68AH BulkHead FlatCar review and ScaleTrains. I am out. Peace.